Today, we are here for the funeral of Tottenham Hotspur and their European football. Today, we are here for the rebirth of Newcastle United. The new boys are on the block. We are taking over. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. Expressions, Abby, everyone. Commiserations, but Newcastle United are back. Champions League, baby. Woo!
A very, very happy Matty Renton there from the Magpie channel, and wow, what a result that was yesterday. Wow, what a weekend it's been. The Arsenal game on Friday, Tottenham yesterday, the two FA Cup games as well, Manchester City versus Man United in the final. We're going to be talking about all that here today on the Weekend Roundup. Joining me to talk about it, big up to Flex Man United fan, Abby, big her up, man. She still showed up. Right. Tottenham fan.
Hi, guys.
AGT Liverpool, and of course Matisse, actually on time today. Is that because you didn't have
I was
a game?
earlier than a couple people here. Do you know what I mean? I was on it. I was on it today.
Chelsea
I'm excited.
fan. Chelsea actually played this week, have they?
No, it's been a great weekend.
Who would you been playing? One of the FA Cup teams?
I've been playing United, yeah.
United?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great thing you didn't play then, isn't it?
Well, you guys didn't look that scary, to be fair.
You barely played yourself yesterday. Barely.
All right, where shall we start? First of all, Moment with a super chat says, this is going to be a very, very funny show today. But where shall we start? We can only start one place because it was the game that happened yesterday. Newcastle United, you saw Matty, over the moon with that performance.
He could have gone a bit more, I think. He was holding back a little bit.
Don't you think we've had enough?
Well,
It's not done yet.
He could have really,
For a 6-1
there. Yeah.
He should have had his top off.
Well, that's it. Newcastle 6, Tottenham 1. Even hearing as this show's been going on that Tottenham are considering sacking the number 2, who's now the number 1, Stellini.
What, is that the news now?
Yep, they're considering sacking him. You never know. By the time this show finishes, he could even be sacked.
You could be in charge by the time this show finishes.
No thanks, that's one job I'd turn down.
Not if the money's right.
Even if the money was right, I'd take that job. But Abby, I mean, I know, I've seen week in, week out, you've come on here and you've been very depressed about Tottenham's performances. You said you don't care and stuff like that. I actually started to understand what you were saying when I saw that yesterday. But even with all the bad performances that you've had this season, that one yesterday where literally they just waved the white flag after the second goal went in and gave up. I mean, that was shocking, wasn't it?
I'll be honest, Rob, I don't really know where to start. I mean, yesterday, in my wildest dreams of Tottenham Hotspur, what I've seen, what I've endured in my 29 years of life, I could not have dreamed what I saw yesterday. I think that is quite possibly the worst performance I've ever seen from Tottenham. Yeah. And I've actually seen a lot of really, really terrible performances, but that was just a new low. To concede 5 goals by 21 minutes of a game. You have got no bottle. You are not playing for the badge. You could not care less about this club. There is no pride, even as a professional. There's no pride in that. And I'm sorry, and we were talking obviously before the game and I spoke to you this morning. I will not buy the fact that it's just purely on the tactics. Obviously, we all know that Stellini should not be in charge. It was an absolutely bizarre appointment to sack Conte and essentially keep his ideas flowing through with someone that isn't even a qualified manager in that respect. But to blame it on the tactics and say, I'll take the blame, fine. He wants to take the blame for it, whatever. But you need to call out those players as well, like Antonio Conte did. And what I always said when Conte did what he did, he was absolutely bang on. He went about it the wrong way and he did it because he wanted to get the sack. But he was absolutely right in everything he said. There is no pride in this football club from the top to the bottom. That goes right the way up to Daniel Levy, as everyone knows how I feel about them. There's no point in me going into that again. But it's just the worst performance I've ever seen. And you cannot tell me as professional footballers who get paid probably in that squad a bare minimum of 60 grand a week, you can't play in a back 3, a back 4, a back 5, a back 2 if you have to play in it. There is no way you can not play in that formation. With the amount of money that you get, the job that you are paid to do, you should be able to do that without blaming it on the tactics or anything like that. And I thought to myself, Where are the leaders in this side? And I've questioned it so many times. Hugo Lloris is meant to be the captain. For me, he's never felt like the captain. I know he's won a World Cup, but in terms of Tottenham, I have not seen those leadership qualities. I really haven't. I've always more associated, I guess, Jan Vertonghen when he was at the club, Toby Alderweireld, Harry Kane with being a leader in that side. Never Hugo Lloris. You know, he came off at half-time yesterday, injury, whatever. But you know, there's been many games where he's let this side down. There's been times where he saved us over the years, but in the last 2 years, or maybe 2.5, 3, I'll stretch it, he's been extremely poor. I look at that back line, and I saw a stat yesterday from the last time we lost at Newcastle to this degree. I think it was 5-1, end of the 2016 season. There were no one left in that Newcastle squad that played in that game. Yesterday, there were 5 players of that Tottenham side that were there for that game. And that just tells you everything you need to know about the way that the club is run, the way that they're always reacted to selling players. They never, you know, sell at the right time, and you're left with all this amount of dead wood that you then can't shift. Because tell me, who's going to go and buy Eric Dyer? Tell me where Eric Dyer's going to go, because he's still getting in the England side for whatever reason, but he's not going to go and
You give
play.
him a new contract the other day, though.
No, I think there's something potentially looming, and I genuinely will lose my mind if that happens. But it's not just about Eric Dyer. It's not just about Ben Davies. He didn't even play yesterday, but it's not even about those players. It's about the mentality of this club. You have no leaders at this club because you've got no leader at the top. It's just one mistake after another.
You say leader, but Harry Kane's the captain of England.
Yeah, but he's not the captain of Tottenham.
Hugo Lloris is the captain of France.
But
is Højbjerg, is he not the captain
of Denmark?
Of Denmark?
Yeah.
And
but they don't do it for
Romero's
for Tottenham Hotspur.
won a World Cup.
And before all of you came in, I was with Alex.
Son's the captain of South Korea.
Yeah, I was with Alex before, and I said to you about Romero in particular. You know,
I won't repeat what you said.
Don't repeat what I said. Word for word.
Can't repeat it, man.
No, it's too X-rated. But what I would say is that all of these people, Perisic, you know, he doesn't perform for Croatia how he performs for Tottenham. Romero doesn't perform for Argentina how he performs for Tottenham. Lloris doesn't perform for France how he performs for Tottenham. And it's a combination of things. So what is it? It must be something that comes from the mentality and the infrastructure of the club, where you don't feel that you have to go and put yourself 100%, and you don't have to put your body on the line. You don't have to play for the badge. And that comes from the top. And I say this because it does come back to the squad, but it also comes back to the top. You have had, I think it's 15, now 16, because Stellini will probably get the sack in a minute, 16 managers in 22 years. 16 managers. That's unbelievable. If you are in any other job and you got it wrong 16 times,
Sounds
just
like
on the managerial front, 16 times, you would not still be in a job. So where is the accountability at the top? Because you can't even call out the top anymore. You can't even call it out, because it is there to be seen. And anyone who doesn't see it, I don't know what kind of glasses you've got on, but you need to take them off, because as far as I'm aware, I'd say 99% of this fan base has now fully turned, and they are seeing the root of the problem. Yet they're going to send you another email asking for you to pay your season ticket. The highest season ticket price in Europe. For what? What am I paying for? Because what I'm going to watch there, if I'm going to go and see and not win anything, I at least want to see performances put on the pitch where you're fighting for everything. You're fighting for the badge. You're playing for pride. I'm not even seeing that. Yeah, I'm paying 1,300 quid for my season ticket to win nothing, to see nothing, to watch Harry Kane go. And I don't blame him going, because what is the point? What?
See Beyonce if you want.
Nah, you're a dread, man.
It's as I've always said, we are a member in that portfolio. I don't care. Anyone who says you've got a lovely stadium, a great training ground, I don't care. I could care less. I'd rather be at the old White Hart Lane. I've always said that. It's a great stadium, but what am I getting out of it? What am I getting out of it? Am I using the Skywalk? No. Am I going to see Beyonce? No. Am I going to watch Chili Peppers? No. Am I going to go go-karting? No. Maybe, if you're paying for it. But it's not the point.
If Chris Brown was there.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, I go for Chris Brown, but that's about it. But that's not the point. My point is the way this club is run, they want to think that they're an elite club. They want to think that they have a right to play in Europe. You have got no right to play in Europe. You've got no right to be an elite club because you don't manage it with an elite mentality.
Luckily, Newcastle are there to take your position.
But that's fine. And do you know what? That's fine.
I thought that was the most shocking
issue.
thing about yesterday's game, right? Is that it's not
just any old
end
match.
Of season.
I need to see my heart rate.
It's not. Yeah, check your heart rate there. It's not. It's not an end of season. We're on the beach game.
No,
that game.
It's 110.
So, that game is. They are just above you in the league. That's a top 4 playoff, basically. You know what I mean? Whoever wins that is in the driving seat for the top 4 place, and
could mean more than that in the grand scheme of things. And in football in terms of the power shift. We're talking about top 6 right now. Newcastle banging on the door to try and get back in. And out of all the top 6 clubs at the moment, I know my team is the lowest, but for me, Tottenham's trajectory is the worst in terms of pulling power, the ownership not really seem to care about winning any trophies, money spent.
Past success.
And also now, you're talking about Harry Kane reaching he's now 29, going to be 30. He's got to leave.
Absolutely.
Harry Kane needs to hand in a transfer request, and this time it needs to actually mean something, because you can't. When he scored the goal, he didn't even want nobody. Don't even touch me. Don't even come near me. None of you. Don't look at me. I'm not one of you. Yeah. I've got the goal. I've got the goal, and that's that. And people.
Yeah, I'm on a golden boot thing.
But then that's what Conte was saying, though. That's what I said at the time. Was Conte talking about even him? I asked that
Robbie,
question
he's
at the
too
time,
good for them.
And people having a go at me.
He's way too good for them.
I know that. But was Conte even talking about like players like him, Son, these sort of guys? Because it seemed like that when you listen to what Conte was saying, it seemed like he weren't giving anybody a pass.
More importantly, how is the captain not coming out for the second half? I don't know what the reason is.
Apparently a hip injury.
How convenient. I mean, at the end of the day, to concede 5 goals in 21 minutes is absolutely embarrassing. I was watching the game and I couldn't. 1 minute I'm screaming, then I'm changing the score. Then I'm screaming, then I'm changing the score. I haven't got time to process what's going on. I missed an incredible Willock assist because I was still celebrating the goal before. The assist from Willock was unbelievable. They had Isak on a hat-trick. Murphy and Isak started smiling when they celebrated the goals in terms of they didn't even know what was going on. They were like,
Murphy did a madness.
He was like, what? He scored again. He was like, whoa. He was like, damn. He went, gee, and Isak was like this. What? I couldn't get double figures in La Liga, and now I've got nearly double figures in one game. Like, it was an absolute travesty. And the thing is with Tottenham is that what I don't get is, like you said, it's such a key game, pivotal game. Yeah. It's an opportunity to kind of, get yourself
have
in,
some bollocks, have some bottle,
put yourself in a position where it's actually like, okay, no, these guys are going to be respectable here. But I know you said the system doesn't matter, but when you're playing Perisic and Pedro Porro, 2 known wing backs at left and right back, and then you're playing Dyer in the centre back of a 4 as well, and you've got Ben Davies on the bench, I'm not going to lie, I couldn't believe the team that he put out defensively away at Newcastle, and then he didn't switch it until 21 minutes. Then he's like, oh yeah, now we should do the back five.
I fully understand that point. I understand that point about the way he's set up. But okay, you're meant to be Tottenham Hotspur. You think you're cut out for being in Europe, okay? In the elite clubs, with the elite clubs. You don't have a right, even if that system has changed, to concede 5 goals. 2, I can say, okay, system error.
Yeah.
5. 5 goals. Lloris. I mean, even for Murphy's
he didn't even dive.
It was a great goal, but still,
he didn't dive.
Terrible. First one, terrible. Lloris is not the sole focus of this. I just want to say one more thing to you before I let you all talk about it. Daniel Levy gave an interview earlier this week.
Best club in the world.
Cambridge University.
Biggest club in the world.
To Cambridge University, right? Cambridge University.
That was a bad
saying
one.
all these things about how great he is, what he's done for the club. They asked him, would you have a statue of you? Would they put a statue of you? Yeah, we'll put a statue of you outside, I'm sure. All these things, right? This guy will not even meet with the trust, with the Tottenham Trust. The amount of times the Trust have tried to get him to have a meeting to discuss what all of us fans feel, paying fans, what we feel, he's too busy to attend or he doesn't show up. But yet you're happy to go to another propagandist in the university that you went to, or you've been paid enough to go and do it, and give your version of what you want the world to see. No one's seeing that version of events, Daniel Levy. No one is, because it doesn't exist. Have some... I was going to say have some bollocks, but I don't think he's got any. But have some gumption about you as the man that is in charge of this football club for 22, 23 years. Own your mistakes, take some accountability and talk to the fans, not just in your end of season notes. Come and talk to the fans and actually build a rapport with fans and try and explain to fans what your decision making is, because this is what also drives the hatred towards the board and what's going on, because there's no accountability on any level. It can't be Daniel Levy that's wrong. It has to be the 16 managers before him. It can't be Jose Mourinho. It can't be Antonio Conte. It can't be Mauricio Pochettino. It can't be Harry Redknapp. It can't be Martin Jol. Can't be Juan de Ramos. God, I'm running out of people here.
George Graham,
Ryan Mason. I mean, the list is endless. Can't be Nuno. Can't be AVB. Can't be Tim. I mean, the list list goes on. The list literally goes on. It goes on and it goes on and it goes on.
Poch.
It can't be all of these people. It can only be. It can't be them. Can't be can't be.
Well,
him.
to be fair, he is going to make change, and he's going to sack Stellini and bring in Ryan Mason.
Yeah. But at the same time, and what will really push people over the edge is, regardless of whether or not Pochettino should or shouldn't have come back. That debate is going to be over because he's going to go to Chelsea. He's in advanced talks. So you imagine this fan base as it is at the moment, and then on top of it, knowing that Maurizio Pochettino has been there, sitting there, and if you were smart, Levy would have just hired him back, appease the fans, calm the fans down, and then rebuild with Pochettino. But he hasn't done that for whatever reason. He hasn't done that. So when he signs for Chelsea, I'm sure he didn't. And I think
the only thing that can go worse for Abby, because she loves Poch, and I said jokingly a little bit on an earlier preview show that we did that Poch to Chelsea would actually make quite a lot of sense, but I didn't ever think it would happen.
It doesn't make
And this
any
is your
sense.
favourite ever manager.
I was somewhere the other day with some people who, it can be quite in the know. And they said to me, he's definitely going to.
Oh yeah, 100%. And when you see the shortlist, when you see the
that's what I heard.
shortlist, when you see the shortlist, and it's company and the Celtic manager,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
It's definitely going to be
him,
Poch.
it's happening.
The only thing that could make it worse is Harry Kane. Oh,
it won't happen.
It would be beautiful. We need a striker.
I wouldn't put it on Chelsea.
I don't think Levy would sell him.
If he did that, I think
got a year left.
Levy
Sell him to Chelsea.
No way.
Chelsea were paid 110.
No way. Listen, what could happen is if he stays for one more season, he
And
goes
then
on a
Lukaku
free.
to Spurs.
He could do
That
that.
would be wild.
He could do
That
that.
would be
But
wild.
there's no way. I don't even think. I don't even think Daniel Levy would take.
If he
the
did
risk.
that, I think then it'd be a long day.
Sorry, I'm just going to get in some super chats here because there's loads of them coming in. Todd Miller says, "Dear football gods, thank you for Spurs and Arsenal
so
matches
hot.
this weekend. Love from Chelsea fans. Rewatch Expressions reactism on loop." Like Clockwork Orange. I'll tell you, I sent him a message yesterday. When they were 4 goals down in 20 minutes, I said to him, X 420. I know you like that.
Did he respond?
No. Ahmed says depression's boozing source. Andy says March misses in April. May he recover in June. Guys, how well done you want your Spurs, Abby? Hold all for United. Hold all of this for your United slander. Flex, get onto her.
What United slander?
Perth Luxury.
Did I miss something? Was there a show when she slandered?
When have I slandered United? I told you you're in a title race. You bottled it, not me.
Perth Luxury. I'll save that one. That's an Arsenal one. Denk says, please guys, take it easy on Abby. She's all right for a Spurs fan.
Thank you.
Black Wolf says, Don Robbie, please tell Abby sorry for saying this, but I think Flex should switch seats. That Spurs mid-energy was caught to United during the Europa League.
Trying to get it on you.
I'll go switch seats as well. There's not even any suitable seats really for me to switch to.
Mate,
You
so
know what I mean?
We'll get into you.
Unless we get a City fan on it. Right?
Relax yourself.
Annie says United 7-0 or Spurs 6-1.
7-0.
Whose was the worst?
7-0 still worse. That's what I was actually going to say, because Abby was doing.
You thought they'd
she was in
eclipse
her
it.
bag, but actually,
It's not the worst result this season.
7-0 still worse, but because of Spurs' trajectory and the chaos that's going there, Man United got to fall back on. We won a trophy. We're going to get top four.
It all happened in.
But Spurs just looks like
It was
all
21
falling
minutes of
apart.
madness. After that, they actually calmed it down.
7-0 is still a record breaker.
Yeah.
Sean says Wrexham might pick up Eric Dyer. Abby, that's his level.
To be fair, they can't defend anyway.
Clara Bitsy says, big up Abby for showing up even after yesterday, unlike the bottler Don Robert for bottling Best of Enemies this
Did you?
weekend. I did not bottle Best of Enemies. It wasn't me. It wasn't me who were here for Best of Enemies this week, mate. Trust me. Marlon says, trying to see a therapist today, only to be told that they're busy seeing people from North London. Mark T says, happy St Tottenham's Day. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. As for my Arsenal, we're missing Saliba badly. Without him, we're not good enough at the back. I miss him so much. Wow, there's loads here. Jordan Astro says Spurs will get a new interim manager bounce. New interim manager bounce. In time for the United game. Typical. I've never heard that one before. New interim manager bounce. Terence Pace says, love watching this great Spurs massacre yesterday. London Nomad says the replacement of Spurs by Newcastle in the Big Six has officially begun. Yesterday was the start. I thought Abby doesn't care. She sounds very caring.
Come full circle.
Murad says, as an Arsenal fan, I feel sorry for Abby. Let's have a discussion, says Abby. He's got a message for you. He says, Abby, I'm 33, single and a gooner. I want to help you to get out of your 29 years of depression and make the rest of your life beautiful. Let's get married.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
And Alex has got an update. You got an update for me?
I do. Obviously, as we know, you are on Habbo today with Daps. We've been plugging Habbo on the Saturday Football Show as well. They've built our own Saturday Football Show set on Habbo, and they actually messaged me yesterday with an update to Abby's Habbo. Should we have a look at it?
Let's have a look at it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
That's harsh.
That is mad.
Fuad and Abby there. She's got a couple of tears.
Where's that Fuad as well, man? You know what? He's the one I wanted.
Ducking, man.
That's another one running, man.
He's been running.
Everything about Clara says everything about Chelsea is currently a downgrade from Roman and Bowley, from Tuchel to Poch, not just also DR Sports, from Gucci to Dior-esque. Sophie Rose to Matisse Armani. It's time for a change, he said.
Matisse out. That's deep, man. That's my guy.
Wow, there's so many. I'm going to get to some of these because some of these are to do with other games. Which one?
Man like Timothy
Parish, AGT, keep FSG or trade for Daniel Levy. Keep up the awesome work on COP TV channel.
Categorically
PSG or no, FSG.
FSG aren't great, but I'd rather have them.
Listen,
I feel bad for Harry Kane if he can't leave, says Stefan.
I'll be honest, Mike Ashley makes Daniel Levy look good.
Wow, that's a bit mad.
But also, at least he sold it.
Yeah,
And said, right,
Exactly, he sold it. He sold it.
Onzo said, has anyone checked on Fuad? Anas says, if Arsenal finish second, who would have the better season, them or Newcastle? Ooh, that's an interesting one. Newcastle had a brilliant season.
The same.
Yeah,
You know
Newcastle deserve their praise.
The thing is, right, Newcastle now, as all teams here that are sort of traditional.
We're all shitting ourselves.
I said this to you a long time ago. When
I'm happy for
them. And they've not even got busy with the money.
Exactly. They ain't even got to the
them.
They ain't even
And I'll
got
tell
to
you
the
one
next stage.
thing, that's going to be a fortress going there.
No one wants to go there.
I can't wait for you to go there.
We did.
Guys, we
I
cannot
can't wait for you to go there.
We're the only team that have won there.
Guys, we cannot be elitists, okay? We've had the top 6 to ourselves. Our bellies have been full. We've been eating, you know what I mean, dining in European away trips. Let somebody new come into the table.
I'll be honest.
Why are you guys being elitist?
Not for our spot. You give up your spot.
It's her spot.
You give up your
It's her spot first.
Because you lot are finishing worse out of everyone this year.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
I think it's great. I think it's great. You know, to have a club like Newcastle. I told you that many a time. Genuinely, to have a club like Newcastle with the fan base they've got, I am really looking forward to seeing them in the Champions League. They're going to be brilliant.
Because it's not even.
I'm jealous that they got bought by,
Man City have got good support, but Newcastle, when you look at the both of them when they first come into the money, City was never really. They're always considered that second club in Manchester.
They were Europa League first, then built up.
Decent fan base, you know what I mean? But Newcastle, everybody knows they've got a huge fan base.
At least they can sell out Wembley.
Huge fan base for years.
And their own stadium.
They are going to be a force.
Listen, I can't remember what game it was. It was a few weeks ago when someone said, "Oh yeah, well done, Newcastle's happy." And I went, "Listen, I want them to start dropping as much points." They are direct rivals now. There's no messing about. And we said even from the beginning of this season, we didn't expect them to do this well. But we all said from when Eddie Howe came in when there was in the relegation zone in that January, and then went through to the beginning of this season, keeping them safe, and actually went on like an amazing.
Yeah,
run.
they finished 10th. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even then, we went, "Nah, mate." They're coming.
Too much.
They're coming, and then they've even fast forwarded that process to the point now where they get in the top 4, which is very, very likely. I think
they're going to get it now.
Yeah. I think they'll finish above you. I think
they might do. Yeah.
Top four now, as it stands. If we're looking at those 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th places, Newcastle 3rd on 59 points. Man United 59 points, well, with game in hand. But Tottenham now are now 6 points off, and they played a game more than 2 games more than Man United,
and the next game is Man United.
Do you know what?
And the next
game
game is
after
Man
that is
United.
Liverpool.
And they could even, you know, what I mean, you got Liverpool coming up. They're on 31 points with 31 games played with 50 points. Aston Villa played 32 on 51.
As I said earlier,
Could even drop out of the top 6.
I hope so. The best case scenario, genuinely for me at this point, is to
haven't even mentioned Brighton.
is to finish 8th or 9th. You know, Tottenham don't deserve to have any type of European football. That includes the Conference League. I don't want this club, in terms of the
That would
owners.
make Levy happy.
Yeah, I don't want the owners to have.
What sort of players are you going to get?
I don't care. We need to rebuild anyway. We need to rip the whole thing up and start again. You don't. You need a whole new team, whole new way of thinking. It needs to be ripped out and start again. So I don't really care. I would rather have a whole season where you have got nothing other than your Premier League games. Maybe we can actually try and compete in a cup. Whatever. I mean, because we never, turn up to Carabao Cup or FA Cup. We always go out in the first or second round. So maybe we could try and focus on that. Rebuild. Get players in who want to play for the club, play for the badge. Actually have a, renewal in terms of the way that we look at this club, the expectation. Because I think Mauricio Pochettino made this club believe that they were capable of achieving things.
I mean, how will you feel if Pochettino is at Chelsea?
Obviously, it's like the worst thing that can happen on top of what I'm going through. It's like, you just took a
Clara
giant...
Bitsy says David Ornstein just tweeted that Harry Kane will not sign a new contract and Man United have started due diligence.
I just looked at that. David Ornstein hasn't tweeted that.
He hasn't, okay.
But another quite reliable journalist has tweeted, Matt Law from
Okay.
at the time.
Joshua Singleton says, whoa, now Abby's lost me. The state comment is Levy-like. We haven't even spent crazy money yet. Joe Linton, Shah, Willett, Longstaff and Murphy.
No, I didn't say you had. I'm just saying I would like to be owned by a state. I would love to be. What's wrong with that? You are owned. You are owned by a state. There's nothing wrong with that. You're essentially doing what City did, but that's fine. I would love that, and I'm happy for you that you have managed to turn it around from where you were with Mike Ashley. I'm saying I'm jealous. That's what I want. But you are owned by a state. You have to accept that.
Okay, let's because we end up talking about this all day. Let's move it on because there were 2 FA Cup semi-finals over the weekend. The first one, Manchester City versus Sheffield United. A very easy win for City. They didn't even have to bring on the big boys. 3-0 hat-trick by Riyad Mahrez. You touched on it earlier there. A lot of empty seats at Wembley. Not in yesterday's Brighton Man United game, but in that game, a lot of, I think, I was surprised
because they don't have that many fans, and that's not me having shots, but they can't.
It's more the Sheffield United end that looks.
Well, there was a
emptier
massive,
to me, but
there was a massive Man City flag over about 5,000 seats. The Sheffield United fans, fair play to them. They're almost in the when was the last time they got far in the FA Cup? Maybe against you guys 20 years ago when Seaman made that save. So listen, are they going to sell 45,000 tickets? Maybe not. But the champions of England, surely you'd have to assume that they would also do that, but they didn't. And this isn't the first time, Robbie. This has happened before, and they want to extend their stadium. I mean, I'm seeing a Man City fan here on Twitter saying it's too expensive with the train ticket.
He's right.
The ticket.
He's right.
But then
he's right in a way because why they put that's another thing, right? I mean, Flex, you were there yesterday, right? At the Man United game at Wembley. Why does it have to be played? I liked when they used to play it. The semi-finals at 2 neutral, and then the big thing now is when you go to Wembley. You
don't get that buzz. When I was driving down, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to Wembley.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but I feel like they should.
I always feel like Wembley should be reserved for a final rather than.
But they have the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, which was the Millennium Stadium. And that was a big. That's 76,500. Big stadium. Why not play it there?
They could play at Old Trafford. They could play.
That's not neutral, really, is it?
There's many grounds they can play it at nowadays.
Yeah, but it used to be like Villa.
Old Trafford.
Villa Park.
Old Trafford's got a leaky roof, and the plumbing is messy as well because the bathrooms. So I don't recommend Old Trafford.
Yes.
It's a fair point.
So is Arsenal's.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, their roof was leaking the other week as well.
It was. It was. We fixed it though. You know what I mean? So,
I agree.
Right, but I mean, and even when you go to Wembley, I mean, if you're coming down from Manchester, the amount of money that's going to cost you, train and stuff like that. If you hire a car, you know what? Try parking a car at Wembley.
It's not-
with
it's
one
not
in
possible.
finals on. It's like £50.
It's not possible, yeah.
It's a joke, man.
It's not cheap.
I leave them families drive, mate. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
You have
mean?
to, yeah.
No,
It's
but
not
it's true.
cheap.
It's so expensive, whether it's your petrol or your train. Like, you know, we are in a cost of living crisis. It's expensive to go to football, from what I remember. But it is. It's been so long.
Yeah, you've been entire.
So long. But it's expensive to do a whole day out, especially if you want to bring
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
or, you know, and also if it's, you know, you're not, if it's Man City and Sheffield, you're fairly close to each other. Why would you not make it more accessible for the people that
Well, there's a
support
lot
the
of
club?
City fans that are saying, you know, working class Northerners having to pay all this money to come down, which is totally true. But stop singing "Feed the Scousers" then, and bin dippers. You know what I mean? Because if you want to talk about poverty and that, but you're happy to sing them songs, then it's a massive contradiction. But I agree with them.
But also, it is tough for them. But then, because Man United's a bigger club, bigger fan base, more fans from down south and from worldwide will go to the game.
True.
But
than
Man City do
So
not
we'll fill
have
it out.
that core fan base.
No, 20,000 empty seats. Are you fucking sure? But
But they've got the core fan base. They've got the core fan base.
Yeah.
What they don't have is
They don't have the
But it's
outside.
not that
outside.
bit-
They've got the core
fan
fan
base is like what, 20,000?
To be fair, they've got two in London. You and I.
Did you go to the game?
No, I didn't. But I would.
didn't.
I
I
would.
didn't.
I
I
would
didn't go to the
go.
game.
I would
You
go
should've
on.
went.
To be honest, I don't.
Would you go on Wednesday if we could sit with the City Ultras?
The text from Big
I'd go.
Steve.
Hey,
I'd
I'm
have
not
the
gonna
City
lie.
shirt on.
Hey, you
I'd
might
have the
might
shirt-
see us there.
I'd have the shirt on.
Wednesday. You
scarf
might
on.
see me in the previews on air.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't worry, we're gonna get to Arsenal. Don't worry, right? But Man United through to the FA Cup final, all Manchester final. That is going to be good.
Never happened before in
Never
history,
happened
man.
before.
And you know what's really interesting?
Were you a bit lucky yesterday?
Massively.
No, not at all. It was
Massively.
an even. That game deserved. It was 120 minutes. The two teams couldn't be separated. What chance did you look at for both keepers and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe the other team didn't score. Oh my God, he had to score that. What a miss." There wasn't. Let's have this right. There's this thing from the rival fans. Liverpool fans are going to try and say you were lucky. So both teams had 15 shots. Brighton had 5 on target. United had 6 in the whole game. Brighton are a possession-based football team. So what did we do? We got our tactics spot on to make sure that we nullified them in terms of let them have the ball in them type of areas. They had their 15 minutes. Then we had our 15 minutes. Then they had a 20-minute spell. It was just so nip and tuck. There was nothing to differentiate between them two teams, apart from two clashes of style that to the naked eye, if you're looking, you go, oh, the team in blue's on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
Doing anything with it. If you understand football, you know that game was dead even.
Wan-Bissaka was incredible.
Wan-Bissaka clamped
Unbelievable
Mitoma. Everyone said
performance.
Mitoma's going to be amazing. He's this, that. He's mashed up loads of man. He's fantastic. And actually still looks quite lively and, you know, had four
Still caused
couple-
the two biggest
Yeah,
chances
he
came
could've
apart.
scored as well.
Yeah, exactly. But
He was
Wan-Bissaka
he was so tired by the end.
clamped him out the game.
Yeah.
Caicedo
was
he was brilliant.
unbelievable.
He was, he's press resistant. He was putting balls around corners. You couldn't really rush him on the ball. But tactically, we got our shape right. And credit to Brighton. Sometimes it's not just that. I think just credit to Brighton with their system, the way they play. But we weren't lucky. That's the reason why it was 120 minutes. There was nothing to decide between the teams. Then it went down to bottle. It went down to mentality. Who's going to step up?
That word again.
And that word, we're going to get to that word properly later on. Yeah, there's too many cans on this table for me. There should be more than bottles. That's what it should be on here. But in that game, it was going to be about the fine margins, the one moment. And Solly March buckled. And our players scored all of our penalties. And actually,
De Gea was very clever because he started roughing up the penalty spot because he knew he wasn't saving any penalties. He can't save no penalties. So it's like
I said to Cam sitting next to me, I said, listen, obviously hearts in my mouth. I was just like, I can't stomach this.
It's not fun, is it?
It's
not fun.
awful. We know David De Gea don't save pens.
fun when you win,
especially in
players.
shootouts, right?
Twice.
And it was gonna take for them to miss the target. We knew it. But also, in saying that, we had to score all our penalties. And you know what? Jadon Sancho, who's having a rough time.
So glad.
Really good
Yeah.
Rough time. I'm not going to lie to you. When he walked to that, I thought, Jadon, man.
Dallo as well, when I saw him
big.
walking up.
This is big. Sabitzer, it was do or die.
Yeah.
Had to score. Yeah, keeper got a hand on it. He scored. Wout Weghorst can't score for love nor money in open play. Puts his penalty down and takes it. So we showed great mental strength within that period of the game to not miss the target and score our pens. But it was a very close game. Could have gone either way. I actually think the game lacked a lot of clinical edge in the final third for both teams. You know, I think.
I wish Ferguson had played for Brighton and not well.
Exactly, because they probably would have.
Yeah.
The chance that Undes would have bagged.
Oh, the
Yeah,
touch.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
God,
Mitoma cut in for a little
There
bit.
was a few.
Mitoma
We had a
should've
couple of moments where
scored
we
that
got to
heavy
the
touch.
final third, played the wrong pass, wrong shot. Just a
I think
really
it was
tight
one of
game.
them things
Really
for me.
tight
Like,
game.
you know, I always sort of fancied United to win it because I was just like, it's the big stage.
Yeah.
And even though...
But that wasn't even the reason why.
Even though Brighton are a really good team, it's when them big
moments.
that sort of prefers the team.
First time there for that team as well.
Man United have been there. I mean, they've even been there this season.
Yeah, it's the same with Newcastle in the
March
final.
actually missed the penalty that knocked them out of the League Cup as well earlier on in the season. And this is the exact same penalty.
And what I liked actually about us was actually we didn't have any of that big club arrogance. So you could look at it and say, well, Man United, man, getting 60, you know what I mean? They got 60% possession on Man United. You're supposed to be Man United. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be... Forget that.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now as a team? We're not actually as good as Brighton in build-up play. That's not how we play. We've got levels to go.
Saw that with De Gea and Sevilla.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And because of that, we just done a tactical thing about looking at all the percentage of long passes he played yesterday. Because of that, none of that. Just hit it long, go play. So get back to basics, win the game. And just on this treble thing, obviously, I don't want City to win the league because I'm a Man United fan.
You have the chance to stop them now.
But exactly, my emphasis is kind of actually since this treble thing, it's I want Arsenal to win the league so City don't do this. Want Real Madrid to do this so that City don't do that. Or AC Milan, Inter Milan, make sure allow that. If you're Man United and you care this much about this treble as you should as a player, it is in your hands. Imagine someone was going to do the Invincibles, but they had to come to Emirates and you have to make sure you beat them so they don't do. That is, you want it in your hands.
When we played you.
You know what I'm saying? So
games,
if Man United should be thinking, forget Arsenal doing us a favour or rely on yourselves.
Yeah.
You got
But
2
then also-
games. Obviously, it's going to be tough. They can win it on your watch.
Also, it could be on your winning on your watch.
Right.
Where they make songs about it and sing about that forever.
But that's the pressure. And
You know,
or the vice versa, we make songs about it, you'll never do that.
Yeah,
you will never do that. That will never be done
It's
again.
big pressure.
There you go.
Honesty says a question for Flex. Is the pressure now bigger to stop City's possible treble final, which you
it's
just sort of
huge.
saying?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, by then,
Well, no.
they would probably have won the Premier League by then. I'm assuming that they're going to win the league. And then the Champions League, we will know, obviously, if they're going to be in it by then.
You're assuming they're going to win the league.
I think the momentum.
I think
I've been with
they
Arsenal the
are.
whole way.
Yeah,
I think, and there's still we'll get.
Oh, so you're switching sides. You're coming back. Are you switching sides? You're coming back to
Rami
us.
says, I don't know why this is a debate on Twitter, but if Ten Hag wins the FA Cup, then United would have had an astronomically better season than Arsenal.
We've win 2 trophies in
Depends,
top
innit?
4. Yeah.
Blessing in disguise, man.
Yeah.
Depends what happens, innit? Depends what happens. What's this one there for AGT?
Oh yeah, let's see what we got.
You're not even in them talking no more. You know? Even there on there again.
He said he's on just vibes. Don't let him forget he's on just vibes.
Navin says AGT with Klopp now experimenting with Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. Do you think that Trent should play in midfield next season and buy a backup right back, or keep Trent Alexander-Arnold as a backup right back and go for, or as a right back and go for a midfielder?
Keep him as a right back and just buy 2 more midfielders.
Okay, Scholes says Klopp first season 8th, full season 4th, no trophies. Pep first season 3rd, no trophies. Eric Ten Hag has dealt with a lot, CR7, etc.
7 up.
Glazers, Maguire. Give him his flowers.
Listen, especially if we beat City in that final, a lot of rivals are you're going to get your asses handed to you. Fine. Listen, it's a final. It's in a neutral venue, and it's a derby.
ball is round.
It's
a
never
final.
happened before. That final.
I can't believe that's never happened.
Crazy.
It's mad,
It's crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
Mo Salad says we can't sell Aaron Wan Cafu. The man has been great. So he's saying shouldn't.
I don't know.
Even going forward, even going forward, he was great.
Wan-Bissaka, yeah. Listen,
New guy.
I don't know what this guy's been on or what he's been doing.
No, but he's always been good at.
Where's
one-
No, but
He
this
fell
no,
in
but
one
his whole
tackle.
game.
He's always been
No,
good.
no,
Yeah,
but
that's
now
the
going
question.
forward, he set up
I'm
Anthony
talking-
for a chance.
I used to call him Brockfoot. Like 2 left feet, can't, you know what I mean? Can't control the ball, anything. Now, yeah, proper.
You have to give that to the manager. This is about getting the best.
And his own
nice.
mentality, just getting knuckling down. And
He
just,
made a great
cruising,
tackle on the
man.
edge of the box.
Yeah.
I think it was
Mindcracker says after the
Brilliant,
drubbing
yeah.
in Spain, very happy with the response at Wembley. Surely we don't want to see Maguire again after Luke Shaw's performance
Shaw's wicked,
in the centre.
Can I just ask, how does that
Andy,
one
Andy.
end?
Yeah.
How does the Maguire story end?
What do you mean that he leaves?
Goes to top.
Do you know what? I genuinely
I think he's gonna end up-
genuinely said
He's
this
got to
yesterday.
leave.
I think that I can just see it now.
65
Harry
mil.
Kane to go to United, and they'll
Swap.
soften the deal by throwing in Harry Maguire, maybe like
Harry's in it with a bit of
Martial.
money on top.
Yeah, I can see it now. It's the most Tottenham thing to happen. It's like when we gave you Berbatov and got Fraser Campbell. Another masterstroke by Daniel Levy.
Andy says, trophy
Brilliant.
talk. Abby suddenly leans back. To all the Arsenal haters, like Rocky said, shush, says Daniel Cohen. United will end up having a better season than Arsenal, which is nuts, says Darragh O'Brien. And honestly says, AGT, do we need to keep Curtis Jones or sell him? His performances, a couple of games been decent, but we'll be able to keep him for a full season or just 5 games.
Yeah, that's the question mark around him. I think before this little 4 run of starts, I would have said maybe loan him, but not sell, because again, English quota, it's a young midfielder, it's 22, he's played 100 games already for Liverpool. That's good numbers, so keep him for sure.
And V33 says, win the FA Cup, even if we are 5th, no City treble, he says.
Arsenal time?
I think it is.
Sean Newland says.
Come on,
Sean
let's give us
Newland's
a
right. He said right at the start. So I've
taking
gone
a
back
bit-
to
taking a bit of time here,
I've
aren't
gone
we,
back
to
to
get
his
to
super
Arsenal?
chat.
Yeah.
He says, "Q Robbie, it's not a bottling speech."
We usually
Where
talk about
was
Arsenal
it?
quite early in the show. Why is
Exactly.
it taking so long today?
The producer said to start with Spurs.
Yeah, well, it's 53 minutes in now. I'm
got a
still
name,
waiting.
by the way.
Before we go into this section, before we go into this, what we all came here for.
Yes,
We
yes.
did
Oh, is that what you
come
came
to
here?
Why I woke up early this
Okay.
morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
While he was on time.
Before we go
Early.
can we just set some ground rules, please?
Oh, look, so they're scared of me already.
Yeah, can we just set some
All right,
ground?
go on.
And actually, you guys and all you lot at home, make sure as well. We're not letting him get away with anything. Don't get drawn into anything if he has a little snide comment to you, okay? In the tease, if he tries to.
I didn't even play this
Abby, if he
weekend,
tries
like-
to, but you're Spurs, you can't say nothing. Flex yourself, yeah? Make sure he
Don't
doesn't
let him
do that.
deflect is what
You
you're
know what I'm
saying.
Nothing.
You
Do
gotta
not-
hold it.
What I'm saying is nobody bite. Just keep calm and let this
We have to
guy
press.
receive
Press from the front.
all together, yeah?
100%.
Okay.
I was
right,
at the
well done.
game. I was at the game on Friday. Obviously, going into that game, the expectations is that Arsenal going to win. It's top versus bottom of the league.
That's what they were, yeah.
Right? Got off to a horrendous start. I couldn't believe that actually, Aaron Ramsdale has been excellent for this season. Right? I couldn't believe it. Especially after the night before when I saw the Maguire one with David De Gea. I thought, come on, Aaron.
An Arsenal fan laughing at that, and then you see that the next day.
Didn't you just say
Bloody
about
hell.
biting? What are you biting for? Why are you
Come
biting?
on, next man. You set the rules. You set
Dropping
the
in.
rules.
Biting.
Drop-
He
no,
just said the rules.
We're not
He's
biting. No,
Chill
but
out,
we're
man.
dropping in.
Chill,
Dropping in.
chill.
Anyway,
Because
carry on, Robbie.
Chill, because the night before, I'm just stating the facts here. The night before, your keeper, yours, not mine, had a horrendous error.
Now, what did your keeper do?
So let me
Talking about
finish.
you though.
Deflection.
No, because I'm just explaining.
What'd you keep
to
it
you.
in?
Okay.
right, okay.
No, I'm explaining what happened because
Okay.
hold
Sounds like
on,
a
slow down.
deflection.
Explain it.
Because he
Sounds
said
like a
about
deflection.
biting, right? So I'm just saying
Yeah.
he had a horrendous error. So I'm saying this is what just going back to what I said before you jumped in. I'm saying why didn't Aaron Ramsdale look at that the night before and say, "Come on." At the start of the game, come on, because that happened right.
Probably did.
Hold on, that happened right.
He was on social media laughing like you lot were, and then when he done that.
Hold on, that happened right at the start of the game.
He went, I want to emulate
Right,
that.
and actually we did the same thing against Bournemouth as well. So I was really, really disappointed with that. Then we went 2-0 down. I'm like,
Great goal, though.
this is shocking. This is a shocking.
Walcott did well.
Yeah,
Good
Theo
break.
Walcott.
Wonderful from Walcott.
Right.
Didn't
Legend.
celebrate.
Then pull one back. Then we go 3-1 down. And I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I even said to you guys earlier, innit, I was thinking, why can't some just stop oil people run on the pitch and like, dig it up or something so the game is postponed so we can start again.
Yeah, where were you
And
this
I
weekend?
thought that was it. I thought we were dead. We were dead and buried. To credit Arsenal, right? And this is the only credit that comes
Credit?
out of
You're in current account settings, mate. No
Hold on.
credit.
to credit Arsenal.
Overdrafting.
Credit.
To credit Arsenal, yeah. There's not a lot of credit we take out of the game apart from this. They showed some fight.
For 10 minutes.
Can I finish? You guys ain't got.
I thought you had. Sorry.
Because you keep biting. You said you weren't going to bite, and you keep biting. They showed a lot of fight. I've seen over the last couple of few days teams just absolutely capitulate when they're under pressure. I saw it at Tottenham yesterday. where they were 5-0 down after, was it 20 odd minutes?
All right, Robbie.
Absolutely.
Talk about the game,
Let me.
come on,
Let him have his, let him
you
know.
do you
Alex, enough.
Right?
Alex, stop
Calma,
this.
calma.
I
Guys, let's get in a huddle. Regroup. Come.
You know what? You lot.
Yeah, let's do Zinchenko. Relax.
But you know what? You may laugh about it and that, right? But I saw Arsenal, instead of totally capitulating and feeling sorry for themselves, show a bit of fight and get back in the game. And actually, they nearly won it in the end, right? And I'm just giving the example of I saw Tottenham completely fold under pressure. Right, I saw Manchester United absolutely, when that mistake was made at the start of the game, where you can compare the two, right, they absolutely folded under the pressure at Sevilla. You said it yourself. I watched your fan cams. You said they just completely folded under the pressure. The one thing I take from that game is that they showed a lot of heart, a lot of bottle. People may mock it and say, oh, they got in a huddle, but they showed fight. Now, we don't know until the end of the season. Yes, Manchester City are now obviously the favourites. Yes, we do need to go there and win the game. But we don't know until the end of the season
that point could
whether
be crucial.
that was, not the end of the world, or whether that was the title gone there. We don't know.
May we have the floor?
Let him finish. Just make sure he's finished.
Yeah.
You can now have the floor.
Can I enter
We showed fight.
Yeah, let's go.
We showed fight. I like Chelsea.
I
like
You
Chelsea.
start.
I like Chelsea. We showed fight, right?
Right,
Like in the Real Madrid.
Hold on, let him land. Hold on.
Fight.
We're not gonna deflect. We're not gonna deflect. I've been tapped into the ring for this Monday night Raw, situation. So, Robbie, you are in a title race. You are going up against 4 out of the last 5 Manchester City, potentially, right? And you think credit for a draw against Southampton?
No, I just said to you, it wasn't good enough.
It's not good enough.
We need to get 3 points.
Robbie, Robbie, could you allow him a
Hold on, he's asking me a question.
Robbie, you seem very agitated at the moment, Robbie.
Well,
I don't know. Robbie, could you let the man speak, please?
I know you lot are hurt after last week.
Robbie,
You thought you were going to
Robbie, we just want fairness.
If a man's asking me a question, I answer it.
The comeback is not complete until you get the winner and make it 3 points to bounce back from 2 other results where you guys let 2 goal leads slip. This is not credit.
You interviewed John Burko, didn't you? How's it go?
This is a situation to give credit. This is a situation to see a expressions. This is a declining. This is a problem because you go to Manchester. It's a massive setback. You go to Manchester City.
Is it terminal?
You go to you go to Newcastle. The same place.
I know that.
The same place that you were just.
We won't go there and do what they did.
But will you get 3 points? Will you get 3 points?
I don't know, but
because
I'm
last season.
But one thing I am confident of is that we won't go there and capitulate like what I saw yesterday. Because I saw it the other night. I'm saying to you that I saw the other night. This is a very important thing to state. I'm not making excuses for the performance. We're supposed to beat Southampton. They're bottom of the league. And they're bottom of the league for a reason. But what I'm trying to say is the only thing I hold on to from that, when I came out that game, is that at least I should see my team show fight. I've seen Arsenal in the years. That game, we just crumble our way and we just walk away. No points. It's done, finished. Right? At least
not good enough.
At least I saw, and you can't talk because I saw your team.
Yes, there's no need to talk to me like that, Robbie.
You capitulated.
Yeah, and guess what?
You were sitting there.
And guess what?
Hold on.
When my team capitulates, I can call it out. I can say we bottled it. We showed no mentality. We were 2-0 up against Sevilla, and guess what we did, Robbie? We bottled it.
But Robbie,
you were 2-0 up against Liverpool. You got given the benefit of the doubt.
We drew the game. We didn't lose.
From 2 goals up.
That's not capitulation.
No, hold on. You were 2 goals up. You were 2 goals up against Liverpool.
Robbie, come on.
Everyone around this table went, you know what? We'll give you that one. Anfield is Anfield. You were 2-0 up against West Ham.
Not good enough.
You got spanked the week before by Newcastle.
Not good enough.
And you bottled that game. You then play bottom of the league, stricto. They're gonna, you know what, Southampton, yeah? They're going to have to hold
We're gonna do this.
We're going to have to mash these lot up. 2-0 down. And then, Odegaard, all these players, Partey, all these great players that have been doing so well, decide to turn up.
They showed
in the
fight.
83rd
But they
minute.
showed fight.
No,
because
they didn't show fight. No, what they
did they
showed
show
was,
fight? Did they show fight?
No, they didn't. I'll tell you what they showed.
Did they show more fight
No,
than your players did?
I'll tell you what they showed.
Did they show more fight than your players did on Thursday?
No, I'll tell you what.
Where you just
The
waved
stakes
the
are so
white
high.
flag?
No.
Did they show more fight?
You're basically
I'm
waving the white
asking you a
flag.
question.
You're waving the same
No,
white flag.
hold on. No, we haven't waved the white
You're
flag.
at the top of the league fighting
the
for a
season's not
title.
over yet.
Draws against relegation fodder are like losses. Let's not have that. Let's have this right. You basically lost that game.
Facts.
That you didn't gain.
And they could have lost that game.
And this is what you. This is
as I said.
Hold on. This is
as
the
I said,
problem.
it's not a- it's a
Because
poor result.
Arsenal. And I get it. Because you're not used to being in this position fighting for the title.
Nor are you.
Right? But I can call it out.
He's
But I can call it out.
Call it out.
You
Deflecting,
can
Robbie.
deflect all you
Call
want.
it out.
Here's because you're not used to
Deflection
going for the
FC.
league. What you're doing is taking comfort in saying,
Yeah.
at least we got a point.
No,
oh,
hold on,
that's
hold
good.
on. No,
you
no,
are
no,
going
no.
toe to toe with an animal.
Listen.
Draws are like losses, Robbie, and
Hold
you
on.
have to call them out.
Okay,
But
but so
those
let me
guys.
just-
So you did.
let me
I'll tell you
just
why you
finish.
bottled it. I'll tell you why you did bottle it. You bottled it, right? And so you didn't show fight. What you showed was.
We didn't show fight.
No, I'll tell you what you showed.
on, man.
You showed that when the pressure's off, yeah, i.e. it's 3-1 down, the fans are flipping,
Lavia's
leaving.
been subbed.
All I can see is red seats. Actually,
That was rubbish,
let's try and
actually.
do. Let's try and do something.
Robbie,
when
speak
it
about
really
Yoga.
mattered for the 83 minutes before that, what was you doing? Because that's when the pressure's on. That's when you have to get the job done. Simple. You didn't get it done.
So
3 times on the
all right.
bounce.
So what you're saying is.
Even production.
What you're saying is,
that.
what you're saying is, then they
Love
shouldn't have come back then.
I'm saying
If
you shouldn't be drawing. I'm saying they
what-
shouldn't be
behind.
They should have
Hold
won
on,
the
listen,
game, and they
listen.
didn't.
Let
So
me
it's
talk.
failure.
Let me talk. Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me
Shouldn't be
talk.
3-1 down.
No.
Of course, we
Exactly.
shouldn't be 3-1 down.
Yeah.
Of course, I've said it right at the start. We should be beating Southampton. But you can do a couple of things. You can totally capitulate and just feel sorry for yourself, like what I saw you guys do the other night against Sevilla.
No,
and
we
I
didn't.
saw
We
you
bounced back
guys.
and won the next
Hold
game.
on. And I saw you. I'm on about that game.
Yeah.
And I saw you guys
we
do.
bottled it. We're out.
Hold on. I
We're
saw
out.
you guys do yesterday. But what I saw is a team that, like, even when the chips were down, they showed a bit of fight. And for me, in life sometimes, right, I want to see people show fight when it ain't going your way.
I hear that.
When it
That's
ain't
cute.
going, hold on.
That's cute.
It's not gonna get you a
Hold on.
title.
What
Maybe,
you're doing is cute in a
maybe,
title
hold
race,
on,
but it's a title
hold
race.
on. Maybe
It's cute.
we
It's
may
cute.
be different in this way, right? But you know what? It's easy to show a lot of fight when it's going well, right? But what I want to see sometimes, right, is when it ain't going well, when the chips are down, when it's bad. I'm looking around now and saying, right, who's going to stand up? I saw my captain.
Didn't do
Martin
nothing for 83
Odegaard,
minutes. Where was
who'd had a shocker, but I saw him say, "No, it ain't dead yet, man. Let's try and get something
hear
done."
that.
Cute.
I saw Saka say, "Boy, it ain't dead. Let's try." And then after that, they could have won the game, but it didn't win the game, and it's a poor result. I am not denying that in anything. All I'm saying, which I go back to what I said right at the start, I'm not saying anything different to what you lot said, apart from I like the fact that I saw fight. That's what we got to take going into that match.
Bounce like
for
that.
an Arsenal
Nah,
fan,
it's not fight, it's
hold on a second.
capitulation.
For an Arsenal fan,
No, your one was capitulation.
Stop talking
Hold on a
about
second,
me.
hold
I'm
on a
on the
second,
title
hold on.
race. You
Hold
are
on.
on the title
Yours
race.
was
And you just
capitulation.
dropped 6 points in
Stop
3
deflecting,
games.
Hold on a second.
And you think it's
And
okay?
Hold on a
actually,
second. For an Arsenal fan, I'm not saying for a second that you should not be proud of your team for what you've done this season. Your team have showed fight. Your
Yeah.
team have showed mentality. Your team have come back from games where you look like you were going to lose or draw, and you've got results. So regardless of what happens from this point, it's been a great performance in the Premier League, and you've overachieved, and you should be proud. However, in a title race, you will not be winning the league with these mini capitulations.
That's a poor
3-1 down,
result.
2-1 up.
Actually, you know, I did
you
see
won't
a
be
thing
winning the
that
league doing
City
this,
actually
and I'm
lost.
stand by
City
that.
actually drew last year to Southampton as well.
It doesn't matter,
When they
Robbie.
won
That's a
the title,
comforter.
wasn't it?
You're not
But
going to be
I'm-
winning
but
the
I'm
league.
saying it's not good enough.
You're not going to win the league doing
it's
this.
not good enough. But let's
Manchester
wait and see.
Nah.
Is the league over?
Hey, do you want my prediction? Because
the
you
league-
always ask for it.
Yeah, give me a
Man
prediction.
City are going to win the league.
Okay, but also what I would ask, you know, is it over?
It's
The
not.
season
It's
over?
not over, but it's not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good.
It's
But
not looking
over?
good.
Is it over?
Do the
it's
Liverpool
over?
thing, man.
On Wednesday night.
On Wednesday night, on Wednesday night it is.
You think it's over?
On Wednesday night, yeah.
No. Do you think it's over?
Yeah.
Well, to be
You
honest,
think it's
I
over?
think they're
I
going to win
don't
it.
think it's over. And just with
You
like,
think it's over?
I don't think it's over. I don't.
Not surprised. Let me actually, you know, in about a
I'm
minute.
not putting my name on it at the minute that I think it's over, because the way my luck's going this season, it will go the other way. I'm not putting anything on it.
The thing is, I've actually been wanting Arsenal to win the league. I keep saying
Yeah, we don't want your team.
But you
man.
know
You
what?
do your team.
But
Like
when
you
I look
said-
at it,
like you
I still
said-
have to call the result. No, but the problem
Like
what
you
you
said,
don't like is,
you
don't like when people call the results what the results actually are.
Can I just say one
No,
thing?
sorry, I called the result what you lot said.
Can I ask,
It's
is that
not good
is
enough.
that bottling? Is that
It's
bottling?
not good
Yeah,
enough.
did you bottle that game?
That.
Oh.
You know wait. I think if we'd have lost that, yes.
Okay.
But we didn't actually lose the game. I think
So you
people
didn't
are.
bottle the game?
You forget we didn't lose.
Can I ask you a question?
But honestly, that was right. We didn't. I wouldn't say we bottled that game because we didn't lose. But it's a very concerning performance, and it was very poor.
May I ask you something?
Yeah.
So
Everything
we've-
apart from the word bottle, basically.
The last 3 weeks we've seen, obviously, you know, you've given away the lead in you know,
Yeah,
everything,
you've thrown
and
it away a
what
bit.
happened on Friday night. So, just looking at it just trying to take your Arsenal hat off for 1 sec and think of it as if it was Liverpool, if it was Tottenham, if it was Chelsea, United, whatever. What would you be saying about those 3 performances without having your Arsenal hat on and defending?
I'd say in a way, apart from I said I don't like the word bottle, but I'd say in a way what you guys were saying, that the result against Liverpool, that can happen, right?
We'll give you that one,
right?
Yeah.
We'll give you that
The
one.
one at West Ham, nah.
Unforgivable.
We were 2-0 up. We got to see it. And we
You
were
had- you had a
2-0
chance for 3-1
especially
as
that
well.
we were 2-0 up and we missed a penalty.
Yeah.
We should have seen at home. And the one on Friday is not good enough. They're bottom of the league. We got to get 3 points in that game. That's me being completely honest.
This is what
The only thing I'm saying, I'm just going when
Southampton
just
beat you
not
as well.
to just keep repeating
Yeah, but we're
it.
level.
I'm just saying with the Southampton thing, with the Southampton game, right, is that
Better question.
that was not good enough from Arsenal. And the reason why it weren't, don't get me wrong, Southampton played very, very well, but some of it was self-inflicted, like the Ramsdale one, and it's like we didn't learn because we did the same thing against Bournemouth and we got away with it that time.
Villa.
And we go and do that again, right? And actually, there was a game just before that, the week before, Leeds, that we played at home, where we
Should've
nearly did it
conceded
then.
Yeah, the first half an hour.
And that, for me, come on, that's not good enough. That's like a lack of concentration.
Do you think you're going to win the league?
Yeah, I'm still going to back us.
You still think you can win
Yeah,
the
you
league?
can't come this far and then say,
It's
I'm
really,
I'm just
it's going to
curious.
be.
I just
Listen,
think-
we've made it really tough for ourselves to win the league. But from what I've seen of my team this season, I'm still going to back it. Listen, I've got to move it on. I'm being cussed off here by the production, as you can see. But there's about 1 million super chats as well. I have to go through some of these as well. Guys might have to help me read a couple of these as well.
Yeah.
Dodo says, United moving like Liverpool versus Chelsea yesterday, battered and won on penalties. Oh, that is true.
get
You were having a go. No, but hold on, you was having a go
Oh,
at him.
sorry,
but
I thought you wanted me
did-
to help you read out.
Yeah.
Super
No, but
chat.
you did it.
But AGT always does that.
No,
He
but
always
you
does
did
that.
it because you won it. The finals you won last year were on penalties, weren't they?
So what's wrong with that then?
One of the goals that they should have lost were onside, by the way. But anyway.
Anyway, let's not
Yeah.
deflect.
Ahmed
go
says,
on.
Robbie
Deflector,
Deflector, PhD.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's right. He's the best for that.
Entry Elite says, Robbie, you said you was going out of the Europa
this
League
is
was
a
a
great
bless. I still stick with that.
Well, we'll find out at the end of the season.
That
won't we?
night was a curse. Listen, we're missing Saliba at the moment, yeah? That's one player, yeah? Tommy Astergood's injured, but Saliba, who's played all the games.
You never said that to
right?
me in Seville when I didn't have my two
Hold-
starting
hold-
centre-backs,
hold
did
on,
you? You
hold
didn't
on,
care then.
Hold on.
You didn't
hold
care.
on. Yeah, and what happened to you?
Exactly.
Exactly.
You didn't care. You didn't care. though.
So was it worth
You
you
didn't
staying?
care.
Do you think to
Didn't
yourself
care.
now? Do you think to yourself now?
Yeah.
Maybe if we'd just gone out of the round before, and then maybe the amount of games we played and that, I wouldn't have lost Lissandro and that. That's the point I was trying to make. And now we're missing Saliba, and look how things have. I think our XG was second. With Saliba playing in the games.
Yeah, but I'm sorry,
over the
Rob,
last
you
3
can't-
games,
This
we've
is
dropped.
a
can't
big
say that.
Blaming it on Rob Holding. man.
But anyway, let me.
He's been a good servant for you.
Do the
reach,
bigger
man.
fish
And Rob
to
Holding-
fry,
You
you
can't
must
say that.
fry that fish.
Please look at how many injuries
must.
Tottenham had.
North-
You can't.
Because if you
cannot
don't fry
say
that fish, everyone
You
goes
cannot say
hungry.
that.
North London. I was just making. No, it's not. I'm not complaining about the injuries because every team.
Wait, stick to the super chat.
Every
Yeah,
team,
we gotta
every
go
team
through it.
gets. Every
Nobody
team,
talk, nobody
hold
talk.
on, I'm
Okay.
just making a point that every team gets injuries, but I just don't think that our squad at the moment that was put together at the start of the season was built to fight on so many fronts. North London Bus Rental says, "Hi Robbie, we're getting in touch to return your deposit." Also, please ask Julian to stop calling us at 3 a.m. in tears. We've only just managed to get rid of AGT and Doyle from our Merseyside branch. Raj Kumar says Spurs and United are not in a title race, are they? Honestly, he says, which top 6 team would Lavia fit into midfield? Liverpool. He says he wants him, but you got a stingy with. He was very good, man.
He's good, man.
Very
when
impressive.
He came off, that's when they conceded 2 goals.
Yeah. Very impressive.
He was party.
Very impressive. Yeah, I'll tell you, he was good. Akil says, as an Arsenal fan, he hasn't sunk in for Robbie like it's for the real ones. Seen the script. Maybe Robbie watches those Stevie Wonder movies, Heartbreak. Well, this is the sort of, if you're going to have that belief, then, you know. Mark T says Trossard should have played ahead of Vieira. He wasn't doing anything. He was a ghost. Rob Holding was ball watching. Gabriel losing out on the second goal. Zinchenko was out of position in the third goal. Fight but too late. Owen Campbell says, Robbie, do you understand that us drawing 3 games at the same amount of points as if we lost 2 games and won 1? Just because we didn't lose, doesn't mean we weren't bottling it. It's
That's
major points. It's major points dropped.
That's brilliant.
I don't know about. I don't know.
Mathematics.
I'm not clapping that. The mathematics.
It's facts,
you know what?
Robbie.
The mathematics is right. But psychologically, losing 2 games is never good.
That's true.
Right? You could still say I've been on an unbeaten run.
But he dropped the
Right?
same.
So the
Psychologically going on a win list.
So as I
for 3
said,
games is not
PhD
great for you.
intact.
For your mental health either,
I
mate.
don't think that draw's good for the cycle.
Karthik says,
It's good.
you've never been invincible, mate.
We've got him.
We should get L every time. Let's bring
Karthik
do
says,
this if you want.
Nicola
Preview, man. Wait.
4 years, 21 signings, over 500 million spent, 1 FA Cup. Any top European club, he would be sacked. Arsenal stopped acting like a big club 19 years ago. Well, he's doing a great job this season. What are you talking about? Isn't it? Is Mikel Arteta not done a great job this season?
He has.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cute.
What the hell? Elijah says,
to say that.
I don't care.
Bigger fish to fry.
Elijah says this show was
Jesus.
brought to you today by Shanda Freud, bringing haters together since the beginning of time. Don't worry, Rob. Fool them. GJE says Arsenal are capitulating. Arsenal are capitulating. Winning the Prem, Robbie, stop. Okay. Lil Yo-Yo says, Mr. Robert Lahr, you've learnt your delusion from Ty. It's okay to accept that you bottled a gap. Man United bottled the Europa and we've accepted it. Accept it, Robbie.
That's the
Big up Lil Yo-Yo, my guy.
Well, no, because the league's not over yet. Have we bottled it? Tell me, come and talk to me.
It's coming
when
soon.
it's over, just say it.
Stricto is bottling.
Katie says,
soon come.
you have to remember we have a young squad, unlike the teams that we're fighting, like City for the title. It's never done before. It's never been done before. Unprecedented territory. Davizu 90 says the salty southern Liverpool fan hasn't got a clue. What's he talking about? It costs a fortune.
Did I not
you
say
have
that though?
You have extra fans,
So salty,
and we'll have a silver. I think it's a Man City fan there, where you was going on about
Must
them
be
not
rich, him.
not. It is. You know what? I think I saw a stat that they've been to Wembley 22 times over the last 9 years or something.
Carabao
like that.
Cups, isn't it?
That is a lot. That is a lot.
They don't want to go anymore.
Well, I'm sure they want to go, but then maybe that's why some of those finals should be moved elsewhere.
Don't blame me for that.
Stop being dread to them, man.
Work hard.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be,
We've all got the same 20,000.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Get more money.
Big up Robbie for repping us. Arsenal fan says Giuseppe. Raj Kumar says Robbie for PM. He speaks more waffle than Rishi Sunak. Pretorius Rex says Robbie really sounds like Ty. When you are going for the league of 3 draws in a row is capitulation. Now, no amount of deflection can
there's a lot of
can change that. It has been poor. Junkyard says Arsenal are that working class student in an elite school who everyone hates always in style. Season 2, remember, no Arsenal fan ever told you we were winning the league. Ahmed says, come on, Robbie, not a good look for you. Humility is a virtue. Deflecting bottles FC. Sanjeet says, as a Madrid fan, I am happy that we have got Camavinga with the Odegaard money. He don't have the mentality to play for us. and play under pressure. Well, a couple of weeks ago you were saying you would write Odegaard.
You did
James Baker says
so.
that Southampton keeper was an annoying time waster. A says Arsenal must have the most goals from errors this season. The last few games have been poor from errors. Clemens says, did Liverpool bottle it 3 of the last 5 years?
You've already answered that question. Right. How can you bottle it with 90 plus points?
Karthik says, big up the panel. Well, I'm sorry, Robbie, you have reached high levels of delusion. Once Arsenal lose to City, you will say Arsenal are still 2 points clear. That's a good one, I remember that. The Joker says, Rob, when you go home, you are going to have to fry some fish.
Good Friday, long.
Robbie, you said you are fighting on so many fronts. Arsenal only have 1 game a week. What fronts? We were fighting on different fronts. Like saying, how can I say fighting on other fronts? Richie Dow says, face it, Robbie, Arsenal are bottled it, sorry. A says, Sun Channel saying sack Arteta even if he wins it. What kind of rubbish is that? And
I'll tell you after.
I think you need to change your name to Robbie Tile.
Did you say that?
No, I want him.
Predictions for that game, because obviously a load of big games on during the week, but let's first of all get the big one, which of course is on Wednesday night.
It's exciting.
Arsenal going to the Etihad, where we haven't won since 2015, I think.
The last player to score for you there was Koscielny.
Yeah, we ain't won it for a very long time.
I'll go first.
The odds are completely against us.
I think City do win this one. I have to say, I think this does become the night where everyone says that my 10k is finally safe.
Oh yeah, I forgot his agenda.
You better hope.
No, listen. If I could choose without the bet, it would still be Arsenal.
What if Arsenal still go and win the league though?
Then they deserved it 100%.
You honour the 10 grand.
Yeah, right.
Listen, just relax yourself. You're asking about a prediction for Wednesday.
Now I forgot to remember why you're so vociferous in this as well.
Deflection. No, honestly.
Because I thought every Liverpool fan didn't want City to win it, but now I'm starting to remember.
Look at my lips. I want Arsenal to win this league over City. So how can I have this agenda? I'm telling you right here, right now.
You have to cop at 10 grand.
Listen, we'll sort that when it gets to it. Right? I'll cross that bridge when it comes. But in serious talk, I would say that they're just on their kind of April-May trajectory. This is what they do in these months and weeks, and the record is abysmal for you guys up there. I think you lost fairly heavily in the League Cup there this season as well. So I'm going to go with a City 3-1 win. I do think you scored.
It was 1-0 in the league.
I know, but it was a heavy... You didn't do anything in the game. But I do think you lose this one. I do think you can score a goal, though. I think City have shown their frailty sometimes at the back. But it's whether you can... And listen, let me say this. If you do win that game, then I would say they have won the league, and it isn't over. Listen, we can all banter and say
even that.
There's still 7 games.
You don't even know.
Yeah. But then you still got to go to
trust Arsenal to go, play against Brighton at home, Newcastle away, and win all the games.
It is definitely not over. And listen, City have still got to go to Everton. They haven't won there for a while. It seems to be their bogey team. So you're right. It's not over. But I do think that City have a little bit too much for you on
City
Wednesday night. 3-1. I'm going to go with
3-1 City. Matisse.
I think you already know what I'm going to say. I think you already know. You know.
It's so funny when you haven't played, you're so happy.
I mean, there's nothing that Robbie can say to me this week because I just haven't played. And we haven't got time to detour.
He's so jolly today.
the show is a mess.
I think this game and the game at St James's, because I think it's finally time Newcastle get their respect, is the 2 games that you guys really need to look out for your title run in. I think Man City are going to win this. I'm seeing nerves in the Arsenal team. I'm seeing people make mistakes 28 seconds in. It's not a good look. And I think Haaland is trying to break the record in this match. And I think he will. So I'm going to go over Man City 3-1 win. And it's a long day.
Fan camps will be good though. Can't wait for them.
In all honesty, like I said, as a Man United fan, I don't want City to win the league. And actually, I have a lot of the times on this show, and actually in general, I've been like, I think Arsenal would do it. But what I've seen in the last 3 games is too concerning, man. Too concerning going to play City at this time with that type of form. Obviously, having Saliba not there is massive, but also I'm just looking at the type, it's just conceding too many chances, conceding too many goals. And City in that element when they know what's at stake, they know that they can beat you, get on top of the gap that's already been half, not even half. What is it? What did it go down to? What is it now? 4? Is it how many? What?
Is it 4.5
5 points.
You're 5 points ahead of them, but they have to play you,
But
and
they've
they've
got
got
2
two
games.
games.
They've got 2
So
games.
they can bring it back just off the game in hands, even if you draw, right? And if they win,
Arsenal
if they win all
Arsenal
their
have to
games.
win the game.
So that's what I mean. What we were saying earlier during this run-in was that, you know, this is what the 8 points is for. Go to City with an 8-point gap, and that we can afford to lose. Or
Yes.
we can afford to do this. We can afford to do that.
could have if you won your last 3 games.
Can't afford to do nothing but win. That's it.
Yeah,
That's as simple as that. You
Yeah.
have to win this game. And I think Arsenal can score. I don't think Arsenal will get rolled over like how everyone thinks, like an easy 3-0, 4-0, you're battered. But I just think whatever it is you do, they do better and they outscore you.
Okay. Your team?
My team, Man City.
Yeah.
I can't speak about it. I'm so nervous for it. I really am. I'm so nervous for Wednesday.
Wow.
I really am. It's huge. It's like do or die. This is the only thing I've got for my season. So like, this is everything to me. This is absolutely
Are you going to the game?
everything. No, I'm not. But if anyone wants to offer me a
If you
ticket,
get a ticket, you actually would go.
I'd go, but then I wouldn't want to bring my Spursiness, so I probably wouldn't.
Actually.
Like, I just want to,
Should be
watch
a
it in
few
the
empty
comfort.
seats,
Watch it in the comfort of my home. Just enjoy the moment. But genuinely, I think it'll be a really good game.
I think you need to host the watch along on Wednesday.
Oh no!
I'm actually hosting that.
We've actually.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm hosting that. Oh yeah.
We've had to.
I'll be hosting that.
For personal reasons, we've had to swap. So Flex is actually hosting. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, I'm nervous. I can't lie, but I think it's going to be closer than, like you said. I think it's going to be closer than everyone thinks.
Yeah, well, I
still think it will be around a 3-1. I do, but I can see it being. I can see it being a draw for like a lot of that game, like a 1-1, and then City just last 15 minutes.
I don't think Arsenal get moved to like everyone's saying.
I don't think Arsenal can get moved. Listen, I'm concerned because I just feel that
Ding ding.
you know what? It's not even that Holding's been that bad since he's come in.
He hasn't.
He's not been that bad.
he's
It's just
not getting
the
the stick.
dynamic is. I think there's a lot of scapegoating there
Where does
because
that
a new guy
Zinchenko
comes
thing?
in. But
Yeah.
I think
Zinchenko.
Well, in the
Do you think
huddle.
Tierney needs to start playing now?
Tierney
I
play-
heard your Tierney's linked with Newcastle.
Right. A lot of people have been saying that, but Tierney started against West Ham, and you could say that it was his fault on the second goal. So, to me,
So you wouldn't change that going into this?
no, I look on
Zinchenko
it
with the emotions.
I,
you know what he's
I
like?
look on it.
Huddles.
I look on it, and I'm like, well, that.
Yeah,
you know.
especially at home
I
as
look
well.
on it, and I'm like, Arsenal got to go there, and they got to go for it, right? You know what I mean? We got to defend, right? But we can't just go there and just sit back and just think we can defend that. That's not how we've been playing this season. That's not what's brought us success this season. And they just got to get the belief back. And, we've been to difficult places this season. And, this is the most difficult one. But even when we went to Anfield, the start we got, and, that's as difficult a place to go to as the Etihad, even this season.
But that was a Liverpool side where
Even
actually
this
it wasn't
season.
that big of a surprise if Arsenal did beat them, even though with the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it will
Liverpool
be.
was still.
It will be.
Inferior to
It will
Arsenal
be.
in that
It will be a
phase.
big surprise
It's
if we beat them. The one thing I would say, right, is I was kind of looking at it, the game, and I'm thinking, if we beat them, it's not over.
Yeah.
If they beat us, it's not over yet either. You know what I mean? If they beat us,
It's virgin
if
close
they
to
beat
be
us,
over.
you dare assume that they go on.
Do you know what I
and
respect?
get-
I do respect
Right.
because it's your team. Until it's mathematically, you
You're
got
holding
to
the hope.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
but
I
I'm
hear
saying,
that.
all right,
But
sorry,
if they beat you,
actually,
Can I say
you know
for
what?
the-
Actually,
for the
let me
mental, if they
put-
beat them mentally, that Arsenal team is not recovering from it.
mentally it's tough. If they draw, sorry, you know what? I shouldn't have said beat. I think if they beat us,
It's over.
I don't say it's over, but they are hot favourites. If they draw to us, it's not over.
Can't see
agree.
it.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah,
you've got Brighton at home as well, haven't you?
We've got Brighton
They've
at home.
also got
They
Brighton.
turned you over last year, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
Newcastle away.
The
That's
League
still
I
bad.
think it's whatever
Yeah, and the League
happens.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was.
I still think you've got
Blessing
some
in
tough
disguise.
You've won the last.
fixtures. Brighton,
Blessing in
Newcastle.
disguise.
Let's see. I'm still happy that we're in this position to be actually
What a position to be
challenging
in, though.
for the league.
No, listen.
What a
It's
great position to
huge
be in.
week.
Cute, like I said.
Would you agree?
I love a bridesmaid, honestly. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you've been a bridesmaid for a very long time. You haven't challenged for a title
Hey,
for
listen.
a very, very long time.
But we've won it a lot more recently than you.
Well, you
a
paid
lot more
for it
times.
recent times, and the money's
Hey,
running out now.
Hey,
And
listen,
I'm
the money
saying-
ain't running out. I
Listen,
still got the
mate.
money gun. Alright?
Don't
We still
let
spend
him
it.
do
That's
it.
why we in this.
No,
Can I
there's
just
no
can I
point.
just show you this really
One-
good stat?
What?
So, the only team to finish above City and not win the league
Spurs,
was
isn't it?
Tottenham in 2016-17.
You guys always.
Tottenham.
I was gonna
They always have them
They
rubbish
always got
records,
something.
innit?
actually was going to get your prediction on because the other big game is on Thursday night, Tottenham versus Man United. And not, you have to beat them at home. Number one for pride, but number two, if you are to have any glimmer of the top four, do you think that after what happened the other day, maybe Tottenham can salvage something with? They're not going to put in a performance like that again, are they? At home.
Top four's done.
I get top four's done. Absolutely.
No, but you're right. Even for pride's sake,
they haven't got any pride. I've been on here a long time. My God, we've come full circle. I don't know. I still think United will win. I'll go 1-1, maybe.
Okay.
1-1.
Liverpool go away to West Ham. West Ham are on form, hit a bit of form 4-0 yesterday.
Typical.
Through to the
tough game, yeah.
semi-finals of the Conference League.
I think we've played.
That's a must-win as well.
Yeah,
isn't
of course it is. I think we've played at their ground 6 times. I think we've won 4, lost 1 last season, and drew 1. So the record's good there, but again, they're starting to pick up. Incredible performance from them yesterday. 4 hours scoring scorpion kicks out here. But Liverpool have also scored a lot of goals. We've scored 9 goals in 2 games. So I'd back us. The only problem, and Liverpool fans will know this, we're going to be wearing that reflective CD white kit again, which we have not won a game in all season.
He's blaming it on the kit now.
You like that kit at the start of the season? You said it goes good with the Air Maxes, isn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And now it looks like a CD.
But
Compact disc.
every team's got
Changes
one
mind.
kit where you're like, it just reminds you of bad things, right?
All right, and
So-
one more game.
I
Huge.
didn't give you a prediction, but I'll go in.
Go on, then.
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. Huge West London derby. Chelsea versus Brentford.
That is huge.
We play at the same time as Man City versus Arsenal, so we all know.
Oh, do
everybody-
you?
Yes.
Oh, so no one just.
So you
No
won't
one's
even,
gonna care.
you won't even be watching your game.
I'll have it on.
Right,
I'll
mate.
have it on the small screen. I'm watching your game.
Right, mate.
Your game's on the big
Yeah,
screen.
talking about bridesmaid. Look at that.
Your game's on the big
Baby
screen.
shower whilst there's a wedding there, though.
Exactly.
Bridesmaid setting.
All right.
Someone's gonna heckle in the wedding. That's the wonderful thing.
All right, let me just wrap it up quickly to cut some more super chats here. Tobeswell says, Robbie, learn from Troops and Kelechi's interview on Friday. RY2696 says, Robbie, you missed my super chat on the league and
Sorry,
title.
man.
Oh,
2
sorry, I didn't
minutes
say that.
super chats,
It's been inundated today. Owen says, this is our biggest game. We're going to do this. Mans says, can't wait for Best of Enemies cooking show.
That could be a
incoming.
cooking show still.
Ahmed says, how sad is it to see Botlingham fan expressions or to depressions? Rizwan says Arsenal 2-0, Rob. Get the pot ready for the cookout, Rob. Well, I ain't saying nothing yet. Right. And Dasmo says, I'm predicting a Rob Holding red card on Wednesday, he says. Just before we go, just to tell everybody how the league sits at the moment. Southampton, despite their excellent point at Arsenal, still bottom on 24 points, played 32 games. Forest now, after that loss at Anfield, with I thought they did very well, didn't they?
Unlucky not to draw that one.
Yeah.
Big up Diogo Jota again,
Yep.
man. Firing 4-2.
27 points. They're second from bottom, played 32. Everton in the bottom 3, played 32, 28 points. Leicester with a big win at the weekend.
Massive
they come
win.
out of the bottom 3, but only on goal difference. They're on 28. Leeds in trouble. Played 32 on 29, and then Bournemouth, they dropped down to 15. They've got 33 points. Played 32. Wolves played 32, 34 points. And West Ham starting to look like they're getting out of the trouble now. Played 31, so a game in hand over all those teams below
up
them.
Nicky Hawkins.
On 34
He was
points.
so
He
down
said-
on that. Remember that super fan debate?
Yeah.
Well, he
we
said
ain't
to
got a chance.
sack Moyes,
Look at that
and
now.
Moyes
See?
has got him into a
Not
final.
done yet.
And, yeah.
Yeah,
And he said
So I
he's
said not done yet.
They win.
Not done yet.
can't wait
At the
to
top
see
of the
this.
table, Arsenal still top despite the misery these guys are trying to inflict on me today.
Not really.
Played 32, 75 points. City, of course, 2 games in hand with a superior goal difference. Played 30 on 70 points. Newcastle into 3rd place, played 31, 59 points, but United have got a game in hand, played 30, 59 points. Tottenham in 5th place now, played 32, 53 points. Just behind them, same amount of games played, Villa on 51 points. And then you've got Liverpool coming up 31 games played, 50 points, and Brighton, they got about 4 games in hand and 49 points. Wow. Don't forget, there's to check out their Habbo today. Habbo, we're going to be doing a special Habbo today. I'm going to be on it. Me and Daps. I got fed up with these City guys, man. Right? I'm going to be on there, so make sure you check it out. The link is going to be in the description, so make sure you click on that. And Richie's Hours with another super chat says, Tottenham 1, Man United 8. Sorry for your loss, Abby.
I don't know, man.
Bison says, we've made enough fun of Chelsea this season, but Arsenal have conceded more goals. So much for the best right back, best centre backs, left back, best goalkeeper in the Premier League. But but they are top. So I'd rather concede more and be top. And I think that is it. Yes. Oh, that's been a busy show today, man. The amount of super chats has been there. But it's been a great show today. I've really, really enjoyed it. Want to big up to our panel. Flex, of course. You can check him out on United View. Abby, here, of course, on DR Sports. AGT, the Cock TV. And Matisse, of course. Was it Ma TV?
Just MAH.
Just MAH.
MAH. Nice and simple. 3 letters. Easy to type in.
That stands for Man City, something another way.
The abbreviation.
And thanks to you guys for watching and getting involved in the show with all your comments, all your super chats. Really, really enjoyed it. We will be back next week for another weekend roundup. By the time we come back next week, we would have had that Arsenal Man City game, so we'll be able to. I might not be here.
Imagine.
See you next week. DR Sports is entering the metaverse. Welcome to Habbo. Come play games and chat about the latest football drama. Meet up with friends, meet new people, and have a great time. I'll be there on special VIP days. Click the link or go to the website at habbo.com.